Hello Year 4 and welcome to our World Book Day art lesson. Our World Book Day art lesson is based on the book The Proudest Blue, written by Ibtihaj Mohammed and S.K. Ali, with art by Hatim Ali. In our art lesson today, we're going to be collaging something important. So let's open our art packs and make a start. Now, in your art packs, you should have received a glue stick, a piece of thin white card, and some scraps of blue paper. Now, apart from a pencil, this is all you're going to need for the lesson. However, you might also want to get a pair of scissors, some blue colouring pencils and pens, and some newspaper to keep things tidy. Okay, once you've got all your things together, we'll go through the lesson step by step. If you want to pause after each step so that you can keep up with the lesson, that's fine. Just pause and then play when you're ready. Okay, now the first thing might be the trickiest thing. You've got to think of something that is special to you and draw it in the centre of the page. It should be about a fist-sized drawing, not too big, not too small. Now, I've drawn my family on this picture, but you can draw anything that's special to you. It can be things to do with your religion or culture. It can be a special book or a special object or a holiday souvenir. It can be your friends, it can be your mum, it can be your dad. Anything that's special to you. Draw it in the middle of the paper. You don't need to do any colouring just yet. You don't need to do too much detail. Just a simple line drawing like this is fine. When you've drawn your picture, tear most of the scraps of blue paper into strips. Try not to make them too straight. We don't want lines that are too straight. Now, sometimes the paper might be a bit too tricky to tear into nice strips. They might come off in chunks instead. Now, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But it might help to turn the paper around 90 degrees and start tearing strips off that way. Also, if you have some of this clear blue plastic in your art pack, you may need to cut that with scissors. And again, try to cut it using wavy lines rather than straight lines. Okay, soon you should have a pile of scraps of paper in small strips and some whole bits as well. Okay, now let's see what the next step is. Okay, I've put my picture down on a piece of newspaper now, and as you can see, I have put the blue strips of paper around my drawing. I'm not covering my drawing, but I've put the blue strips of paper around the drawing. Now try to have a think about where you want the different shades. I've tried to put my darker shades at the base of my picture and on the left-hand side, with the lighter bits to the centre and to the top. But you can do it any way that you want to do it. You can use any pattern that you want. Try to put the tissue paper towards the top layer because we can see through the tissue paper. When you put a circle of blue paper around your picture, start sticking them down. Try to cover all the white paper, all the white card, with no little bits of white poking through. Now, when you've completely stuck all your strips of paper down and they're dry, turn the whole thing over so you can see the back of the white paper. After that, I want you to trim around the edge of the paper, cutting off all those extra bits of blue that are poking out. Take care not to cut the white card. We just want to trim all those bits of blue that are sticking out of the edge. Once you've done that, take some of the other strips that you haven't used and cut them into small pieces like this. You're going to use these pieces to add detail to your picture. If you see here, I've used tissue paper to make the shirt, and some of the dark tissue paper to make the tie, and some of the blue paper here to make a t-shirt here. You don't want to use too much. This can get really tricky and really fiddly. So just use a few bits and pieces here and there to add detail and make your picture more interesting. Once you've done that and everything's dry, get your blue colouring pencils or blue felt tip pens and colour in the rest of the picture. Now try to stick with blue in different shades, but if you want to use other colours in small amounts to add details, then you can. And there we go. That's our finished collage, our collage of something that is important to us. Don't forget to share your work with us, take photographs and send it to the class mailbox, because we really want to see your beautiful World Book Day artwork.